8 minutes after 8 o'clock, it's that time once again. Don't forget, Island Tea
is the place to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And don't forget, we're also simulcast on TVC Channel 40 on the cable network. And once again, we want to apologize to the listeners who listen to us via the radio, and especially the people who receive our transmission via anywhere in the vicinity of the Bastille Valley. Well, our Atlas level transmission site is without power, and we're hoping to get that resolved as soon as possible. As soon as that happens, you'll be able to listen on the radio. In the meantime, you can listen to WinFM on WINNmediaSKN.com. You can also catch us on now WINNmedia SKN broadcast 24/7. For the shows that we do stream with video, you can catch us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Where's the lie?
Yes, where is the lie? Yes, Jamster. So we want to say good morning to everybody. We want to wish everyone well this Friday. It's going into a very long weekend, the August long weekend.
I didn't even check because I'll be working even on the weekend. Oh, boy.
Oh, you would be. Yes. And so we...
The machine.
I know.
Yes. So, Monday and Tuesday are holidays here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. It's Culturama weekend, you could say, too, where persons go to Nevis and they continue to experience what Culturama has to offer. It's the 50th anniversary of Culturama, And so yesterday we celebrated Emancipation Day, and we had Miss Astafan here.
Mm-hmm.
And so and a very interesting discussion. I'm sorry I couldn't be here for that. What are some of the highlights that came out of that?
Well, yesterday Kay said she had mentioned that yesterday was Emancipation, and I didn't hear it. So when Carla came in, I was like, "Oh, today's Emancipation."
Yes.
Day.
Yeah.
And you see, one of the problems with the whole commemoration of Emancipation Day is that we tend to think of it as Emancipation Day. So most people know Emancipation Day was August 1st, but a lot of the islands celebrate it on the first Monday as opposed to August 1st, right?
And some countries celebrate it on the day that it's
some
meant
persons,
to be celebrated.
Some countries, that's true.
So we are in the category that wait until the first Monday to celebrate.
Do we really? What are we celebrating?
But we don't really celebrate it. That's the thing.
We're celebrating what the slaves did. Yeah, but technically the slaves did kind of have a carnival after that,
Okay, so let me say, maybe if not celebrate, recognize, in the sense that, or do you think that it is overshadowed by the festivities that we have?
The name is in it, I really don't think they overshadow it because I was...
Yesterday,
go ahead, Jamster.
No, I'm saying yesterday Carla said that.
Yeah.
It might have been Kay who said that. It was a half holiday in Nevis.
Yeah.
It was a half holiday yesterday.
Oh.
But then we know that half holiday is
the junior parade.
Yes. It's not,
I got excited and then they bust
necessarily
my
about
bubbles.
Emancipation Day.
Yeah.
And you see that probably applies to Monday and Tuesday as well.
Yes.
Yeah, because Monday. Let me pull it up here.
And other countries, Trinidad and Tobago, I think, recognize and gives the day off.
I know some calendars. I've received calendars over the years from regional insurance companies, and you usually could tell which countries celebrate it, because they would have a legend on the front that says, Guyana, August. They say Emancipation Day, August 1st.
So
Guyana, blah, blah, blah.
Here also to Jamaica, it says here is Emancipation Day, a public holiday in Jamaica, and it says 1st August, Emancipation Day in Jamaica is a public holiday.
Guyana too.
And a part of a week-long cultural celebration during which Jamaicans also celebrate Jamaican Independence Day on the 6th of August. 1962, both August 1 and August 6 are public holidays. So
nice.
we do,
I think Jamaica even have festive like queen shows during that time, dealing with stuff like that. So you're dressed in your African wear. Guyana yesterday, and I know Trinidad and maybe Jamaica too would have had the day when they dressed up in the African wear.
And for Culturama is about the culture, Nevis culture. So in a sense, it's cultural in the festival. But I guess based on the fact that there's so much of our celebration being impacted by the development across the waters and the like. Why I say that is like you see the development or you see the transformation of what we have and the influence of outside with the feathers and all kind of things like these in terms of the costumes and everything like that. Really, I think Nevis does a good job in holding on to the cultural aspect, though. I went to the as a judge for the talented youth, and it was based on Nivision culture. The talents were based on Nivision culture. The costumes that they paraded in were based on Nivision culture aspects. So they had like Eden House, they had like the Fort Charles and all of these things, Nelson Springs, the Bat, the hot springs and stuff like that. So
the children are being ingrained.
Yes.
To keep it, but Nevis has incorporated Emancipation. So on Saturday they have the Culturama 50 Emancipation concert, and then on Monday they have the Emancipation Juve Jump Up. I just picked the two that have Emancipation in it.
They actually have those in the name.
Those in the name, yeah.
Okay.
So Culturama 50th Emancipation
so
concert.
That's good.
And then on Monday it's Emancipation Juve Jump Up.
Okay, at least there's a
that's why I tell you,
performative attempt
because
to include the word.
On doing research, I saw slaves kind of had this kind of carnival thing, like that's why they get jab because they said the slave had used molasses and rubbed it on the skin and stuff. So the slaves did kind of carnival-y. We just kept it going.
Yeah. What Carla did say yesterday was that there was going to be a push later on to get all the governments to sign on to having the holiday on the same day.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting.
Regional government.
So which probably means someone had messaged me yesterday. Well, let me read the message.
Yes.
Short message.
She also mentioned reparations, trying to get families to pay for
messaged me.
Yes.
That I even asked her the question, like...
I only saw the message last night. He had said, Nevis half holidays for Culturama Junior Parade, nothing to do with Emancipation, right? Which is what we said after Carla told. Was it you who said it? And then he said, Emancipation Day is 1st August, not the first Monday. It's we who made the holiday on the Monday.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I figure if they eventually come to an agreement to have it all on August 1st, it means that probably we will lose the Tuesday holiday probably. Because it's true, because
we don't have to, it's Carnivale.
No, because
for Nevis,
that's
so
what I mean.
We can
Nevis,
still keep it. We don't have to use it. We can celebrate the 1st as a holiday because that has extreme significance.
But that's adding another holiday that you're eating into productivity.
How so?
People
work 3 days in other countries and they're not eating into productivity.
This is another thing that I always fight with people. People see people always want holidays at the drop of a hat. And I have to explain to them, you don't just have holidays just to have holidays. It interrupts business. It erodes productivity and so on.
It's for a good cause.
For 3 holidays?
Yes. Oh my gosh, we work hard for the rest of the year.
No, if they made August,
we are observing our ancestors on the 1st, and then because Culturama is Culturama, we have the holiday. So we have Emancipation Day. What are we gonna have other than a food fair that people can go to? How are we gonna experience the culture? How are we gonna have reenactments? How are we gonna dress up in our outfits?
Well, this is the other thing. You remember I was telling Carla yesterday. I have repeatedly over the years, a lot of times when I did voices, I always said, I always talked about Nelson Mandela decreeing that when you guys are celebrating my birthday, I don't want any parties and excuse to have a fete, and I want you guys to go out there and engage in community work, go and look for the old people, feed them, cut their lawns, clean their houses, build a wall for a boy's home. Just do community stuff. Make it some substantive, giving back type activities rather than an excuse to have a fete.
Oh boy.
And that always stuck with me, and I've always spoken about it. And I've never received one single call on that. Never once, not even once. Because nobody's interested. Kittians would prefer if half of the year was public holidays.
No,
People,
oh my God, Jamsa, that's the only. Oh boy,
I feel
that's
so.
rough.
I feel so.
So then, how we gonna get paid? How we gonna
Listen,
work?
I'm a DJ saying this,
Oh my God.
but this is not about me. I think sometimes we lose sight of the important things, because like
Jamsa,
I
it's
said
only
yesterday,
3 days.
the half holiday yesterday had nothing to do with Emancipation Day. It
Mhm.
looked good. Oh, half holiday for Emancipation. No, it's because of the
Yeah.
parade in Charlestown yesterday, and that's not a good look. I have to say. It reflects. I think it reflects badly on us. We look for excuses to party and fete,
Oh boy.
and we ignore the important things. I mean, look how long it was before we got a Christina monument, and all these kinds of things. The Christina disaster mostly, the Christina disaster date mostly goes unmentioned.
But then if we take a holiday to celebrate
except
it
for
now,
Nevis.
Kortensia is suggesting a holiday
Why
for
should we take a holiday? That doesn't need a holiday.
if we take a holiday to celebrate it now,
But and
You're
then,
gonna
the,
say we
then
are
the other thing, you
productive.
have the Christina.
So-
and the
so how are we
Emancipation
gonna
Day.
celebrate
so
it?
You can
they're
do-
both on the
They're both on the
Mhm.
they're both on the same day.
which one?
The Christina
Sing along.
disaster and Emancipation Day, same day.
Oh.
All the mo-
Emancipation
all-
as in August 1st?
Yeah.
So yesterday they were supposed to be down.
No. Was it yesterday or?
I don't
No.
remember the date.
I'm getting mixed up. I think it's a couple days before. Someone please let me know, because no, I think I'm giving wrong information there.
I'm gonna go
Um,
check it up now.
But you guys get my point. My point is, I don't think AZ agrees with me. I can watch him and see.
No, I'm listening to you. But you're
He's looking at me like.
So the Christina disaster was a ferry boat shipwreck with 233 casualties that occurred on August 1st,
Yeah,
1970 between the
You are
islands of
correct.
St. Kitts and Nevis in the
Mhm.
Leeward Islands, West Indies.
Oh, it's
So-
still down there. Look, there's a picture of it too.
Mhm.
So yes, it's on the
Oh,
same.
August 1st,
Mhm.
okay. So I think we didn't
So
mention that yesterday.
Yeah, and I find
Mhm.
that for that the recognition and being aware about that, the highlight is not really great. We go through it, and the day passes as if nothing
Did they
had
have
happened.
anything on Nevis for it?
Yeah,
They usually have
always
Nevis
had
started
something,
something, and they and I think they have monument and like a little structure. Let me say a little structure down.
But we
Yeah.
have the
Nevis.
whole thing there
But
behind.
that
Yeah.
just came the other day.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
The
came
Nevis
recently,
one.
and
The Charleston one has been there for a while now.
Yeah.
if you don't know it's there in St. Kitts, you won't know that it's there in St. Kitts, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not really very. It's not very. A lot of spotlight isn't put on it.
But
You understand?
but when you think about it, the pier used to be in that area, so it's still kind of appropriate. The
But
pier
what-
that
Yeah,
where the
but
boats used
what
I mean,
Liz is saying
attention.
is like nobody pays attention to it.
Yeah.
When it first
Yeah.
came out, everybody went and took pictures. I was like, what is this? And then I saw what it was.
I'm sure the average.
I think most people know it's there.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that would be
But
good.
did
No, yeah.
most
That
of
would
us
be
know
good.
that yesterday was the day to pay homage to it?
Yeah.
I didn't.
And here's the rub again. If they ratified the August 1st holiday across the Caribbean, we would now have to balance. We would now have to find a way to balance
Cultural.
the sad and the sad and the not Emancipation Day, plus that tragedy.
Mm.
Yeah, balance are good.
Celebrate. Well, not celebrate, but commemorate them on the same day in a tasteful way,
Yeah, exactly.
without
Sure, those
re-
people wouldn't want
recognizing-
us still mourning over them. They're happy that
Yeah.
we're recognizing them, and it should be a joyous occasion, not how should I say, not barring the fact that people died on that day.
Yeah.
But
Also,
just
in recognizing emancipation, we can't forget our past either, in terms of the tragedies, the loss, the damage. And so, in recognizing, we still remember the sad events that occurred during the slave trade and during slavery.
Yeah, we have a call. Island T, go right ahead. It's 8:23.
Yeah, good morning,
Hey,
great guys.
Hey, what's
good
up?
morning.
What kind of tea you all have?
Oh,
None
Want
much.
Sadly, nothing
I
for
want
me
some
today.
international herb tea.
international herb.
Yeah, you need to go and check Jam Down for that.
Good morning.
Yeah, great Friday morning, eh?
Yes. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great.
Yes.
Jumpstart. This is my opinion. The reason why not one call to Carlo Astafan when she was on the program speaking yesterday, because you see, Carlo is a lady, a person. She don't just say, well, that the mango tree just tumble down. She gonna give the reasons why the mango tree fall down. So once she give the reason, then there is no question to be asked. That is the way I see it, why nobody one call about it, because Carla don't leave you in suspense wondering why it happened or whatnot. She give you the answer. And so I find it, well, there was no question for me to ask.
We understand. Also,
Because she educated people like me.
Yes.
with all the information that she gave.
Yeah. Also, just to highlight, Nevis has two Christina monuments or memorials. Sorry, they have the Hunkins Drive on the waterfront by the CCM and the Bat Cemetery by the NRP.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because, okay, well, I shouldn't say because, but Navy Jones and Kitty Jones are two different set of mind people, mentality people. Navy's people stick to the culture more than us down here. We to follow suit and copy. As soon as we see another country way out come with something, we gravitate to it. But Navy just say no. That's why you see a lot of Navy Jones still have their land and the house and all kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know? But we down here quick to say, take it, go with it, man. So I admire them. I admire the Navy Jones.
Yep.
They stick to the culture, and like Culture Ramo, they try to stay as possible to the culture in the dress and the speak and whatnot. They don't artificial nothing between you. They live up to the topic of the event, and I admire them for that.
Yep.
Okay.
So you give it up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Also, I want to highlight, and when I read this article, thank you for your contribution. I want to highlight this because when I read this article, I thought to myself, what is going on in St. Martin? And it says here, Trinidadian artist, Plumpy Boss, evacuated from St. Martin. I don't know if persons heard about that here at the panel. And so it says St. Martin government has responded decisively to a shooting incident that occurred last Sunday. And here it says that, Emmanuel, known as Plumpy Boss, a Trinidadian-based artist recently charged with gang membership in his home country, sustained a gunshot wound to the head while performing. St. Martin officials claim that they did not authorize Emmanuel's entry into the country and have since facilitated his evacuation. In response to this incident, relevant government departments have initiated discussions, investigations, and agreements to enhance public safety procedures and policies to prevent similar occurrences. It says here, ensuring the safety and security of our citizens and visitors are of paramount importance, said Prime Minister. We are committed to working collaboratively with all stakeholders to implement effective measures that will protect our country. End of quote. And it says here, according to the Minister of Health, the acting Minister of Health, there were coordinated efforts, to have the air ambulance evacuate Emmanuel to Trinidad. And so the evacuation faced initial challenges in securing a host hospital in Trinidad, but was resolved through collaboration between the Prime Minister and the Trinidad authorities. And it says here, we are relieved to report that the music artist has returned safely in Trinidad and remains in stable conditions where he's expected to receive further medical treatment. That was a quote from the acting Minister of Health, and it says here, the government acknowledged the police department's role in ensuring a safe environment for medical professionals during the incident. And this article was published just 16 hours ago. And I thought to myself, remember, St. Martin has we've heard about the murder, the homicide of the politician's wife, and now reading this article, you wonder what is going on down there.
Yep. Let me tell you, there's.
I never heard that name before.
I went and I
Boss.
Googled it after I saw it to find out who this person was, because I'm not into dancehall music, and I saw some stuff about him. And then as I continue along the YouTube feed, I saw where this brave guy, he's a YouTuber, he goes into various gang neighborhoods and he interviews these gentlemen and all these things. And then I even saw he was interviewing this guy, Cayman 6, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. And he himself, he's, as he said, he's the famous one. He's a celebrity, but he's a part of the gang. Then I even see one where Prince Swanee was telling this guy that you're very brave. You take a big gamble. Your calculation is off. You have to be crazy to be going into these neighborhoods, and basically telling him he's lucky he's coming up with his life. Not in so many words, but like you basically calculate crazy.
Yeah,
that's what Prince Swanee told
And there's
him.
an article before this one that says that St. Martin denies authorizing entry of Plumpy Boss.
They said they didn't give him, they didn't give them any license or anything to have such an entertainer on the island. So
it says here the St. Martin government has distanced itself from the recent shooting of Trinidad artist Emmanuel, known as Plumpy Boss, stating that they did not authorize his entry or performance on the island. And the Minister of Justice said this Minister of Justice nor the acting Minister of Justice have permitted anyone to enter this country. We have not given any permit of any kind to this individual. And Lewis explained that the entertainers' presence on the island was likely due to promoters allowing him entry on a tourist visa without informing the government. He added, that is the reason why we have an investigation.
So, how do you get in on...
We have a call, actually.
Okay.
Call, go ahead.
How you get on a tourist visa without...
Good morning to everyone.
Hey,
good morning.
Good morning, Jackie. How are you doing?
Good morning to the lady there. What's your name, eh?
Kortensia.
Okay.
Yes.
You used to be on Liat, right?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
You ever been to St. Croix on Liat? Your face look somebody, you know.
Yes. Plenty times.
Okay, I like watching you, you know. Watching you good. I'm watching you good. And Leah buying the thing and pointing at the exit and this.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Just look at somebody, you know. I always used to on Leah with a lot of small children.
Okay.
I watch you gonna say another lady their face, but you still got the looks.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for your service, man. You are very professional.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for your service, man. You are good.
Thank
Always
you.
look out for people. Okay. Whatever. Okay. My thing. Yesterday I hear somebody calling on the radio saying they cut down the trees there by the Chinese, right? And I said, why they have to do that? You know? I mean, they say they're blocking the view. But if they're blocking the view from the supermarket, they're also blocking this view from the ocean. And they say it's park and beaches, cut it down. But when you're cutting down, you don't cut down trees like that, you know. In the U.S., you cannot cut trees like that. You have to get a permit, and that trees have to be doing some kind of danger or harm to you for you to cut a tree. Them tree, you know how much people, especially seniors, sometimes in town and go under the tree, go cool out. And I've been willful because people don't go to Ramzan shop and people don't sell there. And park and beaches, they should know better. You don't cut down trees like that, especially in Basque, the tree out of the way. The tree ain't doing no one nothing.
Oh, you mean
You
mean the trees by the bayfront?
Yes, right there by the China here.
By courts, yeah.
You know how much, man, let me tell you something. People need to start to plant trees. Trees is very important.
They are.
You understand? Me and sometimes and I just run here and I sit down on the bench school after a while. When people don't shop, they go there, and especially elder people, they just school out there sometimes with the bag and waiting to catch the bus.
Yeah.
Why that like that? Why park and beaches do that?
Wow.
Mr. Junior, the Prime Minister, anybody cutting trees, make them get a permit and you go and check out this spot where the tree be and make sure that the tree ain't doing no harm and danger to people.
Yeah.
I see somebody cut down a bed, cut it right down, and I know the breadfruit trees inside small growing up.
Oh, wow.
They need to come and get permit before they touch these. Them two flamboyance was very important.
Yep.
I remember the PAM government planned Samoa and Kim Collin Highway. And when Labour get in, he cut down all. You don't cut down trees like that. You know how important that should be something. I walking up the road, catching my bus, and I have to stand up on that tree because it's so hot right now. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So they need to, if I was selling there, I'll go down there this morning with my placard and ask why.
No,
People don't sell there, the Chinese, them just bad-minded, and they feel like they want to do one thing. Anyway, everybody have a safe day. And this Christina disaster, I made to understand that they get a lot of money. A lot. People give them a lot of money, but I ain't hear nobody say they get none.
Oh.
You know, but
That's the third time I've heard that.
I have a blessed day, and what your name? I don't want to call your name.
Kortensia. Yes.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Leah gonna come back.
Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon.
Look, they used to call me Miss Leah, eh?
Oh.
Wait on Leah flowing there, my children. Every second when Leah went out, they said, "Yo, what you gonna do?"
Oh.
Miss Leah, gone. Anyway, I have a blessed day. You hear?
You
Okay,
too, Miss
great.
Jackie.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
on to the next.
We have a next caller.
8:35. Caller, go right ahead.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey,
Hi, good
morning.
morning.
Yeah, I'm calling to ask the same question to Azard. He wasn't in the studio last week.
Yes.
Azard, there's a legal question I want to ask.
Go ahead.
If somebody's awaiting trial, for instance, for a gun-related crime, and the maximum sentence is 5 years for gun, and the parliament move and increase the penalty like what we had recently, can the judge now implement the maximum to that person based on the fact that they committed the crime before it was increased to the maximum?
Okay, so based on my understanding and based on what I perceive to be correct is that if the incident was done in, let's say, in 2020, at the time when the incident had been committed, we have to look at what law existed then, and so the person ought to be, in my estimation, until if other information is given, would be based on the time. You look at the time of the incident and the law that had been in place at that point in time.
And we actually did answer because
Yeah, we did. Apparently he didn't hear, but I'm glad he asked as that again, so maybe somebody else.
Legislation
Yeah,
is usually not enacted retroactively. I know that there's some legislation that indicate that effective X, Y, and Z, but generally speaking, legislation aren't to be enacted retroactively.
Yeah. I think I cut off Gregory by mistake because I thought it was the caller. I had dropped him because he was.
But we haven't said anything
feedback
about Trump this morning or about the U.S. election yet.
We'll come to that.
No, I mean, in terms of, you said that Gregory was on the line.
Yeah.
I was just making a.
Well, listen to this one, y'all. Yes. Since Gregory was on the line, and Gregory's possibly gonna call back. So his great friend.
He usually calls in again.
Yeah, his great friend says.
Yes.
In the opposite of it, I'm the opposite of it. Threat to democracy. They're a threat to democracy. Former President Trump.
Oh, you're gonna have
Oh, really?
Gregory go
Okay.
off on.
Caller, go ahead. Caller, you're on.
Yes.
Good morning to everybody.
Hey, what's up?
Gregory, did
Good
you hear what
morning.
Kortensia just read?
I understand it fully.
Okay, Greg, it will be my pleasure to read it again. Mr. Trump is saying, I am the opposite of a threat to democracy. Okay?
You're just provoking
And
Gregory
he's
now.
basically, and then he went on to say, they're a threat to democracy.
You know, for someone who doesn't believe in voting or the system of voting, Gregory is very opinionated in this
Boy.
election. Go ahead, Gregory.
Yeah, because the Bible have a lot to say about
Ooh.
everything.
So, Greg, what does the Bible say about Mr. Trump? He can be forgiven and be made whole?
The Bible says he's not a Christian.
Greg, don't let Jesus get you, you know. Greg, don't let Jesus get
He's
you.
not qualified to be in any political position.
Mr. Trump?
All of them, including Mr. Trump. All of them, on all
okay.
sides.
Okay, all right, got
Okay.
you.
Yeah, but it's very interesting about with Trump when with all due respect, the Democrats soon point finger because they had no voting for Kamala.
I think
And
they're undergoing a virtual something virtual as we speak. I think I was listening to it, and I think they're doing something virtual.
Oh, they're doing something, but are people gonna the delegates and so on are going to vote for him? I mean, for whoever.
So
You
it says
see?
here. So it says here in the article. Before you go on. So it says here in the article, DNC kicks off virtual roll call vote to formally nominate Kamala Harris for president, and this was updated August 1st at 8:38 p.m.
Okay. Okay.
So it says here that the Democratic National Committee opened the vote to the delegates who will decide the party's nominee at 9 a.m. So, what time is it now? Okay, it's 8 something here in St. Kitts. So it says here delegates are emailed a personalized and watermarked form that and can either send the form back or have the NDC call them to cast their vote. Ballots are being sent on a rolling basis, and the process is expected to take several days, with the voting window closing at 6 p.m. on August 5th.
Okay. So they decided to have vote because even Democrats were speaking out against it. So I guess they listen to the people then. But what I'm really calling for is that I'm going to, as usual, make you.
I think the intention was always to have the virtual, because I've been hearing it for some time. Go ahead, though, Gregory.
People were talking about it, so I guess they listen to the people who were talking about it.
But isn't that what democracy is about? Listening to the people? Hey, Gregory, isn't that what democracy is about? Listening to the people?
Democracy is a form. Every system, every political system, every system of government is a form of theocracy. Every one of them.
Wait, what? Every
political system, every system of government is a form of a theocracy.
Okay, that's what you mean. Okay. Right.
Yes. But really and truly, let me just call him for what I originally want to say. And I'm going to tick off people as usual. Tick them off very badly. And this ain't the first time I'm saying this on Win FM. Where holidays are concerned, I believe, well, I should say, government, and I'm saying based upon the scriptures, government should not be forcing the private sector to observe any holiday. If they want to give the workers a holiday, a time off, whatever, that's their prerogative, all right, to do that. But forcing the private sector to observe any holiday in this new covenant time is contrary. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, Israel had holidays, that is quite right, for Sabbath and for religious purposes. But those religious purposes are not
obligation today, and not only that, the scripture has laid out the civil duties of government, which does not include forcing the private sector to observe holidays. So it is wrong for government to be forcing the private sector to observe any holiday.
But
no
Gregory,
matter how...
Okay.
No matter how significant,
so-
right?
Yeah.
So what about...
So Gregory made the point about theocracy and democracy, but Gregory, wouldn't you say that many of the governments under democracy function similarly to monarchy and also dictatorship?
If the function is similar? Well, a lot of governments, well, I shouldn't say a lot. I think all the governments under democracy are basically dictatorship and tyrant.
No, but then when you have a dictator, people have no say. Are you saying?
In democracy, a lot of this thing about having us, a lot of it really just a smoke screen. In the end, as they say in the United States, is the deep states or whatever that are really running thing, is the bankers that are really running the system in democracy and so. You don't really have all that much of a say in a democracy. It's just a smoke screen.
Okay.
For most part.
But okay,
You know,
thank you for your
I
contribution.
prefer it straight up. I prefer me wrong straight up.
Okay.
Than be masking it.
Okay, so thank you for your contribution, Gregory.
Thanks, Greg.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's take a quick break, and we're going to come back. It's 8:44.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.
Summer is heating up with CIBC Caribbean. Enjoy a sizzling hot cart summer when you spend with your CIBC Caribbean Visa credit card. Lucky winners will receive prizes including hotel day passes, staycations, dinners, spa days, cruises, and much, much more. Each time you spend $200 or more, you'll be entered for your chance to win. Apply today for your CIBC Caribbean Visa credit card. Terms and conditions apply. Visit www.cibcfcib.com/hotcardsummerskn. Promotion ends August 31st, 2024.
Have you heard the exciting news from Makana Ferry Service? Here goes! We've reinstated subsidized rates for 2024. So now you can travel to Sabre, Statia with a reduced return rate, and we introduce special same-day rates. Wait! There's more! You've asked for day trip to St. Martin? Well, now it's a reality! Yes, on the weekends. Also, with the introductory special same-day rates, giving you savings and affordable transportation options, where you save every time. And hear this, our new schedule now includes Anguilla. Go to www.makanaferryservice.com or call our local agents. Ship it for less at 869-466-1151 extension 2 or 662-3961. You can email makana@shipitforless.com. So now you know. Enjoy the sun, sand, and unforgettable celebrations this summer with Makana Ferry Service and the gift of connection.
And we are back. Hey, let's go straight back to the phone lines. 846 Island T, you're on the air.
We are listening.
Hi, good morning, Jamster.
Hey, what's up?
Yes.
Good morning, Azard.
Good morning.
Kortensia.
Yes.
I have adopted my little preview, my week. You know.
Yes. Tell us about it.
Mr. Lazy, tough coming. Well, you know, there's no doubt about it. The North American election, the campaign, and so it has ramped up, and we have seen some things here. Two things stood out to me.
Mm-hmm.
We called the question to Mr. Trump by the Black Journalists Association.
Yes.
What's the acronym? Azard?
Go
NABJ is Trump, right?
Yeah.
NABJ.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
something was observed where Mr. Trump water bottle was on his right, yet he grabbed for the water bottle on the left, which was to the right of the lady in the blue. And he did not drink out of it. He took it up and he tightened the bottle, the cover, and put it back down.
I have to look at the video again.
Yes, that thing stood out as, very obvious for the whole world to see. And also, there is something that is coming out that, because it is, all of elections, they're more bipartisan, where both parties will get involved, the two main parties, and maybe independent persons who might volunteer. And there are so many counties in, like picture Texas and those larger states, picture California. So in those counties, there are words, there are rumors, it might be factual that some of the volunteers who have that, who are they're the ones to write off on the election, on the count.
Yes.
In that particular county.
Okay.
They are being reluctant to writing off on. I think it has happened before.
You're talking about election denials?
Yeah, like holding off on, even though most of the counties would have put in the sign off on the count, Some counties, some persons in certain places, they are, the news is out that they are trying to say, well, now they're going to hold off on the counting, on signing off on the counting.
Yes.
In order to retard the system in favor of a particular candidate.
There are rumors of that going around, that on the election day when the results are coming in, there is going to be persons who would be denying if it is the result comes out a particular way. But I'll have to see what happens.
Yes, but these are things that should come to the fore. Well, Democratic lawyers, they're on it and they're doing their best, but it redounds to that particular county and the mayor of that county, that area and so forth.
What's your take on it? Who you think is going to be successful, Democrats or Republic?
Well, from the Mr. Biden, President Biden, not wanting to run for re-election and so forth, and the swing states was pivotal. The swing states, and you will notice Michigan, it seems like Kamala Harris, the vice president, has doubled her lead as to where Mr. Biden would have stood in Michigan, in the state of Michigan. I think it's in North Carolina. There's a tie. Wisconsin, she's probably up 4. Those are the critical states. Arizona, Nevada, out west. Wisconsin, South Carolina, North Carolina, Michigan, and I think it's Minnesota.
Yes.
I think it's and Pennsylvania. Mr. Trump still lead in Pennsylvania. He probably up 1 still, but she has reduced that lead in Pennsylvania by probably 4 or 5%.
According to Newsweek.com, it says Kamala Harris is more popular than Joe Biden or Donald Trump have been at any point in the 2024 election cycle, according to a new survey. A Morning Consult poll of 11,538 registered voters between July 26 and 28 found 50% have a favorable view of Harris, while 46% have an unfavorable view.
She's in the lead.
So if those are indicators, it's in the right trajectory. But we're 97 days now on counting, 96 or 97 days on counting. So anything will come up. It's what she needs to disclose, though. It's a whole Well, I have seen the probably $9 million as opposed to Trump 2-point-something billion dollars in terms of their worth. So the comparative analysis is being done on all spheres. I have seen a little video there where from her very time of her birth and the pictures up the ranks all the way up to her 60th. She would be 60 years if she's not 60 years in 2024.
Yes. I have there's a comment on the Facebook page that says Trump is going to give you all high blood pressure. He don't know you all, and he don't care to know you all because y'all not relevant to him or America.
Well, he's certainly not winning.
But the hysteria in the U.S.
Yes.
is that the brown and the black people is going to take over, and it's a funny hysteria.
Yes.
What Kamala Harris is concentrating on now,
yes,
because I think there was a bipartisan effort in the Senate to deal with the border, and it was being shut down. They claim Trump was responsible.
Yeah. There's another comment on the Facebook page, and it's something that we were discussing earlier in terms of the Christina recognition and the like. It says, this government cancelled Parliament yesterday because of the death of a former minister of the Labour Party. How about cancelling Parliament for the hundreds who died on the Christina disaster? Why did they put a date for Parliament on the same date of the Christina disaster? This government doesn't have respect for any of the people of this country or its history. Just give another day. They gave permission to keep a dance session at our sacred National Heroes Park. We have a real set of, here the quote, the comment says, vagabonds in government. And that was another comment.
This Azard is careful to say, oh, this is what it
you
said.
Want
I didn't
my
say
take on that one?
Got to make sure he's covering his back. Yep.
Go ahead. What's your view on that?
I think it is a travesty that we have not initiated a set date, because we know the 1st of August fell within the week, as opposed to some traditionally it would fall on a Monday, but we celebrate it on a Monday, probably the following Monday. It is a travesty that we on our end, this end down here, has not initiated a set date where we will say, okay, where we go around the Senate off, we will go down to the back of the museum and pay homage to so many of our departed loved ones. On both ends, I'm a kitty vision, so there's no way they can take it from me.
Yes.
I have all rights to speak on behalf of my people on both ends of the narrows.
Definitely.
And I think it's a travesty that we have not initiated a date down here as yet. Irrespective of less persons might have died from Sinkit, and the majority would have perished from Nevis's end. Irrespective of that.
Understand. This
they deserve that homage.
Yeah.
They deserve the honor. We have come a long way as a nation. The Tucker Clark. That's my little alma mater, primary school.
Okay.
We just used to call it the pastor school. And to see that they have bestowed names of 2 former principals to that school and other schools, that speaks volume to who we are. We have to deify our people. We have to pay homage to our people. Deification is like a status that is befitting of our people who have contributed a lot to.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Africa. There's another comment here that says, tell the lady who called and mentioned Liat that the Antigua government is working to get Liat flying commercially by the end of this month, August. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did mention they were coming back.
We did mention they were coming back, but she says by the end of this month, August. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why. So that's pretty soon, because we're in
August. Let's just hope it's not running a crazy way, meaning doing the same old thing that they've done for decades, where they never made a profit, and I'm expecting a different result. So let's see what happens.
Yes.
I mean, I love to see it, but I'd really like to see them actually succeed and actually turn a profit.
Yeah, that would be good.
Because now they have jets, so I mean, even more expense, right? Yeah. And then I was telling Kay last week, Here's a wrinkle that's going to be added to the operation. You don't generally have an issue with an engine ingesting say a bird when you're dealing with turboprops. That's another issue they have to deal with now. I mean, I know it's unlikely, but it can happen, right? And then if that happens, a whole bunch of lives would be in jeopardy. I mean, the planes are designed to fly with one engine, but I was just thinking.
Jamster.
No, I'm not saying anything wrong.
Yes, okay.
I mean,
yeah, I know.
It's something to think about. So I mean, they're basically increasing the level of. I'm thinking about gymnastics. Been watching gymnastics last few days, but the difficulty has gone up now.
Yes,
they have jets. You have to think about now. You're flying. Say you're flying down to Barbados, and suppose you fly into a bunch of birds, and the engines ingest a bunch of birds, or even one engine. Obviously I don't want it to happen. I'm just saying, So I hope they're really going to be doing things differently as far as administration and that kind of thing.
Yes, so it's 2 minutes to 9, and we have guests in studio. We are going to start at 9 o'clock. We're going to have Ambassador Larry Vaughan, Ambassador Christine Wallerin, and they're going to be speaking about the Diaspora conference, and it's going to be held this year, September 14, between the period September 14 to 18, 2024, and it's all about diasporic synergies, sustainable island state. And so, guys, as we prepare for our guests, we want you to stick and stay to hear what they have to say. It's going to be on the 9 o'clock hour.
Okay, let's go take a break. We have 1 minute to 9. There was actually a call coming in, but it might be one of those long-winded people.
Jump to they're gonna get you.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9 Win FM.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Hey there, summer lovers. Ready to make your summer unforgettable? Oh, yeah. Get down to Horsford's Building in Neva Center, something summer special, where the heat is on with a sizzling 25% off select items. Fire up the fun with top-notch barbecue grills, perfect for those backyard cookouts. Dive into savings on swimming goggles, coolers, and inflatable and mini pools. Keep your drinks icy and your days splashy. Relax in style with our comfy summer chairs or float away on our luxurious floating waterbeds. And don't miss out on our premium gas grills for the ultimate grilling experience. All this and so much more. Head to Horsford's Building in Neva Center, something summer specials today, and catch these hot deals before they're gone. Something Summer Specials, your one-stop shop for summer fun. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Back, we're all about the Diaspora conference that is to be held between September 14th to September 18th. And when I read that September 14th to 18th, I thought to myself initially, that's time away. But we're in August. and September is just next month. The year is quickly passing by, and we have so many things to talk about. And we have with us our ambassadors who will speak about what their plans are for the diaspora in the coming month. So tell us, take it away. We have Ambassador Larry Vaughan and we have Ambassador Christine Wallerin, Dr. Christine Wallerin. Yes.
Well, good morning, and thank you for accommodating us.
No problem at all.
Wallerin
Our pleasure.
and I are here to speak about diasporic synergies for a sustainable island state, the theme under which the second St. Kitts and Nevis Diaspora Conference will be held. There was a first Diaspora Conference in 2017 with a desire to have it every 3 years. In 2021, our friend Coco COVID was right among us. And so we are seeking to live up to that commitment that every 3 years we are meeting with our diaspora. And this year we are looking at how can the diaspora work with us here in St. Kitts and Nevis to strengthen our sustainable island state agenda, that we can look at the 4 pillars of sustainability: our economics, our culture, our social aspects, and our ecological or environmental aspect of sustainability. And so we want to discuss all this with our nationals, and we're seeking to have our nationals coming out of the diaspora to have that dialogue with us here in St. Kitts and Nevis at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort over the period September 14 to 18. We are hopeful to have these people with us here in St. Kitts and Nevis, not only for the conference, but to celebrate our 41st anniversary of independence as well, which comes the very next day after the conference would have had its successful conclusion. Successful, I say.
Yes.
And this is the diaspora, so how has engagement been throughout the whole time in preparation for the conference that is to be held with members in the diaspora?
Well, as a diaspora ambassador, I liaise with the people outside of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yes.
Sometimes physically or virtually.
Yes.
Right. So I have done travel engagements to places like, well, New York, which is our biggest diaspora, Toronto, Leeds, Birmingham, Bermuda. Where we,
Yes.
The Virgin Islands, both U.S. and British Virgin Islands, and basically the rest of the U.S. Virtually, and some of the Caribbean, St. Martin.
How has the reception and feedback been from our members overseas?
Well, everybody wants to be in touch with back home.
Yes.
Right. So overwhelmingly, everyone very receptive, want to know what's going on back home, also how they can assist and how we can assist. We strengthen the communications gap. So it's been very positive, but we're encouraging. We want to bring the people physically here now to dialogue with them and to see how we can improve what both of us have on both ends.
How many people have indicated their interest in attending?
Currently, we have around 100 persons. 100 persons. We're hoping to get much more.
Yes.
So, hence the reasons why we're here. And it's a free conference. We're inviting you to come here. Come on your own. You stay here on your own. You have your options to stay at homes, or you can stay in one of our hotels that we have provided at your cost. But the registration for the conference is absolutely free. It's 3 days of conference where we look at different topics. And basically we take care of everything during those conference days, the meetings, times, the food that you eat, etc., and the tours. Because we don't want to just bring you in for a chit-chat session, but also to find out exactly what's going on in both St. Kitts and Nevis.
Okay. I know Anguilla is no longer included when we say St. Kitts, Nevis, and Anguilla, but have you reached out to persons over there?
Yes, there's actually an Anguillan association, and who I've been in touch with. We had a scheduled engagement with them, should have been last month. But because they're celebrating carnival stuff, so we've had to reschedule. But we've been in touch with Anguilla, definitely. Anguilla, Statia, St. Martin, the surrounding islands, yes.
Good stuff.
And just to follow up on engagement, the unit has launched a magazine for the diaspora. It is called the St. Kitts Nevis Diaspora Digest. It's a quarterly publication. We are now working on our 4th issue. The first issue was our introductory issue. The second, we looked at the creative economy. And the third issue, we looked at investment and building entrepreneurship to link between the diaspora and St. Kitts and Nevis. Our 4th issue, which is scheduled to be out in September, will look at our environmental thrust. And so what are we doing? What are opportunities for our diaspora to assist us in environmental businesses, knowing what's happening in recycling. We would know that the Taiwanese have handed over a facility that was in operation through the Taiwanese on recycling. It's now handed over to the government. How can the diaspora be more engaging with these work? And so the Diaspora Digest will be out in September, focused to the diaspora to know what's happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Is there a particular date that it's going to be out? Because I know persons here in this...
We seek to have it out the first Monday of the month. So whatever date is that Monday, that's our deadline. And I'm stressing on dead right there. We have conference to plan, so we don't want to
I think Ms. Warren said it would be is the second. You said the very first?
The first Monday, hopefully. So we have to get out of here quickly to work on it.
Yes. So let me ask, what can you talk about the conference? And it's a 3-day conference. What can, if I'm from the diaspora, if I'm coming from the diaspora, what can I expect at this conference? More so.
Yes, the conference, as I said, will be looking at those areas of sustainability.
Yes.
And so we have examined what are crucial and key areas, and we would like to have diaspora engagement on it so that we can strengthen our diaspora policy with regards to the involvement of our nationals in the diaspora. And so, like, our first session will be diaspora and the health agenda, because health would be part of that Sustainable Island State initiative that we strengthen our health care. So we're looking at areas of medical technology for effective healthcare delivery, a viable national healthcare insurance system, overcoming non-communicable diseases, and there's a 4th one, a national health policy as well. And so we are looking at those, and all of our sessions will be interactive discussions hosted by moderators, and already we know that Dr. Hazel Laws, our Chief Medical Officer, will moderate that panel for us. The second session, we're looking at wealth building and investment. And so we're looking at entrepreneurship across borders. We are talking about business ideas and intellectual property rights. So if I have that intellectual property right in the US, how can I make sure that it's available here in St. Kitts and Nevis registration, that kind of thing, because you want seamless flow of goods and services across our borders. And diaspora and remittances. Monies come home from our people. And the latest studies have shown that there is now a trend of reverse remittance. There are some people who work all their years in St. Kitts and Nevis, retire, and then live abroad. Their pensions are being spent outside. So how do we ensure that whatever our remittances are, it sustains and supports? And then the final area in that is the diaspora
investments.
Okay, so remittances by itself and then investments. So yes, and that will be chaired by one of our locals. She lived in the diaspora at Davina Tomlinson, who is a young entrepreneur. And so we are excited about that session. And then our third session speaks to diaspora and the sustainable island state. And so we are talking about food security, stronger manufacturing, and food processing and those kind of things, vibrant sustainable tourism, and national safety and security. How do we incorporate all that into our sustainable island state agenda? And this will be chaired by a national who has recently returned to St. Kitts and Nevis, Mr. Dave Brown, who is quite the innovator, and we are seeking to have him as our moderator there. And then session 4 will be diaspora and our culture. So we don't want to leave out our culture. We want to look about filming our heritage, because we have a lot of stories, but we've never filmed it. Have you seen the Mansion Bull as a story filmed? And we know lots about it, but it's there just in spoken word. How can we now film our culture, and we can expand it and export it and make it something lively and vibrant? Our sport promotion and development. Internationalizing our food and our fashion, what we wear, what we cook, how can we now make that another aspect? And marketing our music. We have lots of music in this federation, but how do we expand it through the diaspora? And so Mr. Clement Monaco Garo, who once lived in the diaspora, will be our moderator for that session. And then number 5, we're looking at the next generation of diaspora, because a lot of the complaints we've had is that these diaspora are just 70 and 80-year-olds who are just coming for meetings to reminisce on the days gone by. And so we are now harnessing that energy from our 70 and 80-year-old. We're not going to throw them out, but we want to make sure that it is passed on to another generation who will now look forward. And so we're looking at our descendants, education, artificial intelligence, AI. I mean, how do we incorporate this in a new generation? The vision for the future of diaspora. And so Ms. Kortensia Hendrickson, who is a local journalist, will be facilitating that session for us. And then that was number 5. And then number 6, we have the diaspora and climate action, because that is important as well. And so we're looking how we can have a discussion on water security, green energy, creating sustainable industries, and a climate-friendly jobs agenda. So that if we are moving towards that, how can we now look at what new jobs, what new areas of work are we going to seek to create to make sure that we are moving towards our sustainable island state agenda? And so, and Everett Weber Herbert of Von Radio will be our moderator for that session. And then finally, we are now going to take those 6 sessions and we're going to put them together to shape now the 7th session, which speaks towards a more inclusive diaspora policy. How do we make sure that the diaspora policy of St. Kitts and Nevis becomes more inclusive so that all our people, and so we're looking at returning nationals, students associations, people who are citizens now citizen by investment. We want to have that communication and building connectivity with all of our diaspora. And I would have to take the honor to introduce the person who will be the moderator for that session, Dr. Christine Walwyn, our ambassador.
Wonderful. So you touched that citizens by investment, and there's a question here by on the Facebook wall asking, and I guess you mentioned it in your last the citizens by investment, and this person asks a direct question. Citizens by investment invited to this conference?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yes, they are. All citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, all persons who are interested. You may be a friend of St. Kitts and Nevis. We want to invite you as well, because we are seeking to expand the understanding of diaspora. Diaspora, by its original understanding, would just be a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis who lives abroad. But what has happened to the son or the daughter of someone and that child was born abroad? Because he or she does not have nationality does not mean that they are not part of our diaspora. And so we want to include those persons as well. And we are looking also at those persons who would have acquired citizenship by investment so that they are treated as part of the overall. And then those who are married to nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis living abroad. Hey, the context is just phenomenal. I was looking at an IOM magazine recently, and it said St. Kitts and Nevis, its population is 52,000 persons, but its nationals abroad, I'm talking only nationals abroad, is 56,000 persons. So I said to myself, if those...
That was for the U.S. only.
No, that was for the U.S. It was international. It tried to pick where we were around the world, and it said 56,000 persons. Now, I'm doing some little math here now, and I said to myself, if each one of these on average would have 2 children,
yes,
then my diaspora grows by like 112,000 onto the 108 that is here and abroad. So I'm over 200,000 persons now. How can I harness that? And then when I add the possibility of 20,000 persons who now have citizenship by investment over the years, then if I add that, I am well close to 250,000 persons who I should be now engaging to make sure that we can work together to strengthen the work in St. Kitts and Nevis.
There was another question here that says, is the objective of the conference to seek investment from some of our nationals in the diaspora?
That is part of it. We know that they know the people who can make the investments as well. Sometimes our people out there are working in the Chase banks, and they're working with the NBCs and the other people, and they interact. And so because of their knowledge of the areas now where we are seeking development, they can become the links. They can engage in the discussion, and then they can lead us to having that discussion ahead of getting the investments. So one, yes, if there are nationals who want to invest, yes, let us have those at the table as well. However, it is not just that only. We are trying to widen and to have greater understanding of what are the opportunities to strengthen our diasporic synergies so that we can achieve our sustainable island state agenda.
How attractive you also making this conference for persons who have certain skills, like let's put it in the tourism sector, since that's our sector, the healthcare sector, to come and invest, put their energies back into the Federation.
And if not even to put it into the Federation, let's say I desire to stay in the United States, that I don't know if we have that greater understanding of international trade and the services aspect. There are 4 modes of services. And one of those modes of services is that the service moves across the border without the person who is providing the service to move across. Or that person who provides the service can now create like KFC and those others, the different branches, so that I'm still operating in the United States, but my business now has a branch in St. Kitts and Nevis to provide that service. And so that is what we're looking at. How can we create those synergies that will, it's not going to be myopic and one base focus. We are trying to make sure that people are comfortable. So you're not interested in coming home, but you want to do more with home, let's accommodate you. You see opportunities to come home to St. Kitts and Nevis, we want to facilitate you. All that is the desire we will seek to do through the conference.
There's a comment here that says, hitherto the diaspora was only important to the outcome of an election. So it's good to see that their views and voices are now incorporated in the development thrusts of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Well, thank you very much for that compliment.
Ambassador Vaughan mentioned the moderators.
Yeah.
Basically people who are living here, who had lived abroad. But I wanted to say that all the panelists are people abroad.
Yes.
So we're not just bringing people to listen to us, but
Yeah.
we're also trying to bring people to engage them and to help us form the way forward.
Okay. And so too, there would be, I'm thinking panelists from the diaspora. Again, there would be persons who are key stakeholders of the government there to listen to the voices of those overseas as well, to incorporate some sort.
Yes, there will be, and those, let's say they can't make it. The independence schedule becomes very tight and they can't make it. We are prepared to have a comprehensive report which will be sent to Cabinet with the proposals for the change in the diaspora agenda and policy. So we'd want them there. There's invitation, but we do understand at all times that government's agenda, and especially because we're in the heat of the independence celebration, school visits, different events happen during the day. They can't all make it, but we will make sure that in every way possible that the government at every level has an understanding of what has been achieved at this diaspora conference.
Okay. So is there anything else that you'd like to add as we wind down, conclude on our discussion?
Well, registration is open. It's on the on our website. The website is diaspora.gov.kn, and you can just go on and register. You also, on that website, you see the schedule, the full schedule, and bios of speakers, etc. Everything is already laid out on the website.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for the information.
You're most welcome.
Anything, Ambassador Vaughn?
Yes. Along with the registration, one needs to bear in mind, as Dr. Waldwin would have said, there'll be activities. And so there is expected a diaspora brunch on the 15th, after registration on the 14th. We get into sessions formally on the 16th. I know it's a holiday, but we will allow the morning celebration at Heroes Park to go, and then we get into our session. And then on the 17th and the 18th, we will have afternoon excursions. We're looking at an environmental tour through the Bayfords area with fruit trees and on all that are being bearing at the time. We're looking at snorkeling. We're looking at possibly a rum tour in Nevis, and also a scenic railway tour. How can I forget the scenic railway tour? And so we are seeking to have, I'm both in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yes.
Sharing it.
We are also appreciative of the work of the Premier's Ministry on the island of Nevis, who that office has been going above and beyond to assist us. And so we are looking forward to having an exciting time. We believe that the Diaspora Conference is an excellent follow-up to the Investment Gateway Summit, which was held last month in July. And so we are now following on. We looked at this totally the citizens by investment in that area. We are now looking at the diaspora in this area. And so we are seeking to show how as many persons working through and with the government will be able to create that level of engagement, and we want it to be exciting. So there will be formal sessions and there will be activities to enliven and to bring us a more better understanding of what's happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Jampton said we had about 2 more minutes, so I'm just going to ask a quick question. It is said that the culture in the Federation is preserved more in Nevis than in St. Kitts. Would you agree to that, and how will you...
I would disagree with that.
You would disagree? Okay.
And I'm not saying that is any less in Nevis than in St. Kitts. What I'm saying is that fish don't see water. And so when I live among it, I am so much involved in it, I don't see it.
Okay.
And I recognize that a lot when I took some time off and lived abroad. And when I came back home, I saw so many things like, okay, so this what's been happening. So you see, when you are now put into the environment with new eyes, and so I would ask us to look again, and we will see that we have a lot here, both on St. Kitts and on Nevis, when it comes to our culture, that we need to preserve and we need to promote. And maybe in better promotion, we will see it better.
Okay, good stuff. I like that
Yeah,
answer.
so I'm here on the website and I just see what you said, meet our speakers, and I see Don Liebert, I see Dr. Lionel Von Frederick Rollins, Dr. Hazel Laws, we have Weber Willett, we have Dr.
Weber Herbert.
Oh, Weber, yes, Herbert, yes, sorry.
As
we
the
have,
moderator.
Yes, we have Dr. Christine Walwyn, we have Dave Brown, we have Dr. Colin Cannoneer, we have a number of them. We have Dr. Amory, and we also have Sylvia Sweeney. So it's a number of persons, yes.
Wait, it will be 35 in all.
Yeah, it's a number.
It will be 35 presenters in all. 7 sessions, 4 presenters, and 1 moderator. So it'll be 35 in all, and we'll be working assiduously to make sure that it comes to pass.
Okay. Well, we want to say thank you for coming to Win FM, for sharing this information with us and to the listening public about what the Diaspora department is. It's a department under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, right?
No.
Okay.
It's the Regional Integration and Diaspora Unit.
Okay.
Within the Prime Minister's office.
Oh, within the Prime Minister's office.
Within the Prime Minister's office.
Then.
And we work on regional matters like CARICOM, OECS, ACS,
yes,
and as well the Diaspora.
Okay.
And so we just want people to remember the website, diaspora.gov.kn, register. Space will be running out, and we don't want you to get on and be the +1. We want everyone to be able to come now. Get yourselves ready, because we will have an exciting time to help to shape the agenda. Dr. Walwyn.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having us.
No
We
problem.
encourage everyone to register.
Yes.
We encourage you to participate, because I'm sure it will be a good learning session for all of us.
So citizens as well could be a part.
We will not exclude citizens.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Because you never know. Tomorrow you may get a job
Okay,
somewhere, go out and be part of the diaspora.
Let me clarify from citizens. Residents.
Residents, yes.
Residents can.
Yeah,
Residents
yes,
can.
yes, yes,
because you never know what happens tomorrow.
yes.
And all of us have relatives in abroad.
Yeah.
So if my family cannot make it home, but I can go and then I can share with them, hey, 2 for price of 1.
Okay.
Yeah, because even in our Olympics, we have Zaria Allah's Liebert. She's part of the Diaspora.
She's part of the Diaspora,
Yeah.
right, exactly.
Yeah, she's
yes.
born in St. Thomas, but she's
Yes.
part of us.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we want to say thank you again for
Thank
sharing the
you.
information and being here. Thank you.
A pleasure.
Okay, great. Thanks.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Rams the good food people, always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. When you need better service, Rams is always here. Better value, better prices, Rams is always here. We want your loyalty, Rams is always here. We are community, we are family. We are family. Rams for you and me. We are community. Rams for you and me.
Magnum, my brand. Everybody put your Magnum in the air now. From you a drink Magnum, make me see. Take charge of things now your place now. From the river to the beach to the street. Hot Magnum when me have in a me hand there. Give her a sipper, she tell me sweet. Look for me watch for your quick time check. Yeah. Right now a Magnum a for your beat. Enjoy yourself every day of the week with a Magnum. My life I forget sweeter. Must be 18 years and older to drink. Drink responsibly.
Do you want to know what's happening in sport? tune into On the Ball, a weekly talk show which is on Win FM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Biff Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and, of course, your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On the Ball with Troy Biff Mills on Win FM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball.
Take a bow.
$9.34. That was Odyssey for Fresh for Culture, something called Big Drum Soca.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big drum.
So they say.
Maybe we should have our own soca song this morning.
So we were supposed to be waiting on CIBC. We haven't seen them yet.
I was just pointing that out to AZ.
Yeah, and this is when we would have been having Fireproof. So we're gonna see if they show up. Kind of awkward.
Yeah. But we're still gonna continue.
Let's
There's some matters we could discuss.
Yeah.
You want to go? You were saying something, Kortensia?
Wait, I might have to lose this headset because it's beating me up here.
Oh, yes.
That one's beating me up. I was talking about the prisoner swap, how the U.S. got less while Russia got more.
Oh, the U.S.-Russia prison swap.
Yeah.
And during the time, that was a talking point by former President Trump, saying that he would be able to get it done if he's elected president. So I was listening to commentary, and he was saying that that's one thing now that he can't use as a reason.
There's still more Americans that need to get home.
Yes.
So I would think that he can still use it.
Okay, we have a call. Let's take this call. See what's on there. Caller, go right ahead. Okay.
Okay. So yes. Yeah, but he was. I think he was making the view that he would have to be the one to get anybody in. But yeah. So the Russia-US swap. You want to go in more about that?
I don't have that article at hand yet, so.
Okay.
I thought it was. I thought it was. I like the way Biden handled it. Because you know what I thought was funny last night. The journalists like to sneak in questions that might not be related, and one of them asked him a question. He said, "We'll deal with that another time." He wanted to keep the focus squarely on the family reunion, which I thought was nice. That's what he played up, and he didn't make it about him and I did this and I did that. And he said, "Listen, everybody has family. Everybody has had situations when the family gets split up for whatever reason." And
talking about family, he has had a lot of loss in terms of his own family.
Exactly, which was the
incident,
the underlying
the car accident with
thing,
his wife and children, and even now up to the day with his son suffering from ailment. So he has had it. So I guess he too knows the importance, like many of us, the importance of family and being reunited. And it says here that I think it's three prisoners, U.S. Yes.
One was another cool thing. We have a call in line, but another cool thing I wanted to say was that the journalist cheekily, after he was told that he was being pardoned by the president, he actually asked, "Is there any chance I could have a interview with him?" So to the very end, being a journalist, even though he was finding out on that, he was. I thought that was interesting.
Yes.
Caller, go right ahead.
Yes, hello.
Hey, what's up?
But I'm going to try to say something quickly. While I regard Biden and Harris to be worse than Trump in many areas, including abortion, the economy, gun issues, that other stuff, while I consider that to be the case, okay? Yet, and you're going to be surprised to hear this, there is one particular case that I consider Trump to be far worse than them. And because of that one case, actually, where Trump is far worse than both of them. I consider Trump to be worse than both Harris and Biden. Okay? And that is because of what the Trump lottery that is going on in conservative churches, where they are not questioning Trump to speak about, where they are more or less worshiping Trump in some kind of cultic manner. And because of that, I think it's a great danger to the church. And Trump is not stopping it. Trump is not discouraging it. Instead, it looks like he's encouraging the worshiping of him in these religiously conservative churches.
I heard an interview with him, and he was speaking to this reporter, this journalist, and I think the question was about his VP pick. And the VP, Vance, the VP nominee, he has in the past made some statements as it relates to family and persons, women who without children, and some statements about women without children and everything like that. And so the journalist was really speaking to Trump and asking him if he feels anywhere, if he supports these comments, or if he, did he know these comments existed when he chose him as the VP. And basically he said, well, the election is about me, it's the president, it's not about the vice president. And I thought to myself, yes, he has this very it's all about me.
Yeah. Selfish, because if you knew your vice president was in that Capitol on January the 6th, and well, Greg might get me for this, but you still, well, he said he didn't encourage them, but you still incited people to go there, and people were good. If they had caught that man, he might have been beheaded. he doesn't. He really cares only about himself because that was his VP in the Capitol with everybody else.
So this person said, "Oh my God, this is the only point that I agree with Gregory on."
Greg, somebody.
All of them is just for themselves. Every single one of them is just for themselves.
Yeah, but they
what I'm saying is because the Trump lottery, the worshipping of Trump, that is going on in these religiously conservative churches, which, to me, are supposed to be the conscience of America. They're supposed to be the salt and light of America. Not these liberal churches that support Biden and Harris them, but the conservative churches that hold to the Bible.
The liberal churches that you talk about that support Harris and Biden, they support them, but they don't see them as, you know, this kind of cult sort of organization. They don't support them to the point that they feel that they should worship them. No,
I wouldn't argue with. Honestly, I wouldn't argue with that because I see the more cultic thing going on in the Trump side, where the religiously conservative churches are concerned. And what I'm saying, that is the real danger and threat to America and to the world, because it is the religiously conservative churches that are supposed to be the salt of the earth, the light of the earth, and if they're not that, we are doomed.
But Gregory,
it seems to me they're losing their saltiness over Trump. They're losing the light. They're hiding the light over Trump.
Gregory, I find it ironic that you don't even call out the lack of moral fiber, because, I mean, how can you on one hand say you're a Christian yet countenance all the things that Trump stands for?
Like?
Really? Gregory?
Yeah, like?
Like?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bold-faced racism.
Like?
Ad hominem attacks at perfectly reasonable questions. Calling journalists rude and nasty.
If somebody's rude, not the wrong kind of person rude.
But what if they're not rude and they're just speaking the truth?
Well, if they're not rude, then you're wrong.
Making fun,
but your president almost always wrong, Gregory.
Making fun of a disabled reporter.
Making fun of prisoners of war.
Making fun of prisoners, yeah, exactly.
We can argue.
Oh my God!
The disabled reporter. We can argue the disabled, because I've seen video where Trump made the same gestures after other people.
Oh, so it's okay for him to do that. That's what you're saying.
Like I said, we can argue whether he did it, whether it is something he just limited to the disabled reporter, because he have done it to other people. The same hand gestures.
Jesus gonna get you. You know.
But you could do that to wicked and evil people. I don't think who Trump did it to. I personally wouldn't do that.
Gregory, you are so finding plasters for Trump sores.
Hold on. Jesus himself mocked people, no? Jesus himself.
I told you Jesus is gonna get you. Who did Jesus mock?
The scribes and the Pharisees.
So you're likening.
Wow.
He called them serpents. He called them Buddha serpents. He called them white.
He didn't mock them. He likened them unto what they're acting as or perpetrating at the time.
So
Trump is just mean.
You're likening Trump as onto
Jesus gonna get you,
really?
Gregory.
You would say he did them. He calling them serpents, Buddha vipers. He called Herod that fox. He called them what he called them.
Exactly. He had describing them as to what
Gregory,
they're acting as.
What is this weird fetish you have with defending Trump? I find it's extremely weird.
But if something is true, okay, Trevor, have I spoken something that ain't true? That's the question, because as a Christian, I'm supposed to speak what is true.
Yes.
But you can't defend a man that just is not like Jesus or... No.
What have I said that isn't true?
Okay.
Well, Jesus don't behave like Trump, nor has he behaved like Trump.
Irrespective of behavior, if something is true, it's true.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Yeah, but I would not. No, I can't do Jesus and Trump. I'm sorry.
Call go right ahead. Alan T.
Good morning, folks.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
I kind of cannot agree, or let me put it this way. It was not just a U.S. swap with Russia for the prisoners.
Germany was
There were
involved.
7
too.
countries involved.
Yeah.
That's true.
The U.S. helped to mediate most of it. Russia got 8, and 16 other prisoners were released from them in all. So it wasn't just the U.S. The U.S. got 3. But it wasn't just a U.S. exchange with Russia. It was a very complicated negotiations, etc., to get these prisoners free.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, saying, oh, Russia got more than the U.S., I don't think that's a fair statement. Because Russia got 8, yes, but they had to release 16. So I'm just saying that, to put the different perspective on the whole matter.
Yeah, it's welcome.
But no,
actually.
I was what I was comparing it to is an article that I saw where people say, did the U.S. really get a good deal, because there are still U.S. prisoners that are still in Russia that were not let go in this swap.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but come on. You think Russia gonna release all at one time?
Exactly.
Understood.
It's a process. It's a process. A couple of months ago, they released 2. Remember, with the basketball player and another one.
Yeah.
So each time, this is what these countries do.
Okay.
They hold citizens from different countries, and then they use them for negotiating.
That's pawns, yeah. Okay.
So it's not something you can do like in one drive and say, okay, I want all my prisoners.
Okay.
It just won't work.
Understood. Thank you for that.
You're on a negotiating table, if you understand what
Yes.
I mean.
Yes, absolutely.
That's something. You have to.
Yeah, and
But
thanks.
I'm just saying, I only put it that way just to say it wasn't just a U.S.
Yeah,
and
because the
thanks for
article does
highlighting.
have
Yeah, thanks
other
for
Western
yes.
nations in it, but they were just like basically saying the U.S. got not so good of a deal by only getting 3.
And it was good that the
I'll tell you
caller.
something
Yes.
though. Every story has 3 sides, right?
Yep.
Your side, my side, and the truth.
Yes.
And the point is, articles are written by the Democrats, articles are written by the Republicans, and then the media puts their spin on it. So it actually is 4 sides, because there's still the truth in between.
Okay.
So it depends on who writes the article, and it all depends on what perspective they're looking at it from.
Yes. Okay.
We can't believe everything we read.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately, or fortunately. And everything nowadays, boy, you have to take like a whole box of salt, not a pinch of salt behind it.
Yeah.
But anyhow, you'll get high blood pressure if you take too much salt.
And we're not going to do that, right?
No?
Okay.
Have a lovely weekend.
You too. Thank you for your contribution.
Yes.
Appreciated that.
Bye-bye.
Yes. So
and it's good that you highlighted that, because the U.S. tends to the news outlets tend to have a very one-sided and jingoistic approach to the way.
If I tell y'all where
A
I
lot
got
of
that
people-
from, but I'm not
do you
going to tell
know-
y'all, but I think y'all are going to figure it out.
A lot of people don't know that other people from other countries were released as well. They
Yeah,
just
they
think
were.
it's just
No, but
I'm
it's in
saying,
the art. It just
because
said
of the
other
way they-
Western countries.
I know,
It
but if
didn't-
you look at CNN, you wouldn't necessarily know. And some people, they only look at CNN and they only look at MSNBC.
You have to look. You
and
have
they
to look
may
at
not
different,
mention. They may not.
Let me
May
pull
not.
it up
I'm not
and-
saying they didn't,
Yeah.
but
You have
they
to look
may
at
not
when you're
mention
looking at news
those key
articles. You
points.
have to look at different areas,
I mean-
because, as our caller rightfully said, when you're writing a story, there's a person writing the story. Sometimes they give you the information based on what they're seeing or what they want to highlight more.
Y'all, so the article is from CNN, and it says American journalist Evan Gershkovich and former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan were among 24 detainees released as part of a complex prisoner swap between Russia, the U.S., and other Western nations. So they didn't say like Germany. They didn't mention the exact. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna dig deeper and see if I can
this
find
is
something
from
else.
the New York Times, right? And it's in relation to a young lady writing back to respond to T.D. Vance, and it's from the New
J.D.
York
Vance, you mean?
Sorry, J.D. Sorry, sorry.
Why you name him T.D.?
Yes, I don't know.
What's T.D.? What's T.D. on your mind?
It's
Okay.
J.D. Vance. Yes. And so it's the New York Times, right? And it's a letter to the editor, and this lady says, To the editor, it says, J.D. Vance, the Republican vice presidential nominee, said in 2021, we effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices they have made. And they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. That's a quote and from JD, and it's published in the New York Times. It says here, and this is a lady responding to him, and he says, I would like to say to Mr. Vance, I was a childless cat lady with 3 cats, no kids. And she says here, I thought fertility was a given. There was no medical reason. I couldn't have children, yet it did not happen. And it says here, 3 cats, a great career, no kids. I was, in fact, at 38, and she says here, quote, a childless cat lady. She said that she pursued fertility treatments that many Republicans want to ban. She says here, I had many painful surgeries, tests run into the lab, 5 vitals of blood drawn every day at 6 a.m., then rush into work for a minimum of 12 hours. She said, childless cat lady, lawyer, meow. And she says, I had one fabulous child at 38 with IVF. She was a triplet but lost her daughter's siblings. She said she was pregnant for the other 3 times. She lost the other 2 babies at 4 months. She said she needed a DNC, same procedure as an abortion. If I didn't have the surgery, I would have died. Another life-saving procedure that Republicans seek to criminalize. So, Mr. Vance, I embrace childless cat lady. I was one, and yet I was at all times a highly effective litigator in a large and dynamic practice. I do not sit at home and bemoan my childless state. She goes on to say, I promise you this, Mr. Vance, women will look askance at voting for you and the former president. And this is Judith Lipnier, Melvin, New York. And it says, to the editor, Mr. Vance, I was a young... Okay, so that's another letter. So women... So that was just one letter written to him.
Yeah, that's been 5 star for the last nearly a week now. Yeah.
Yes, so women have been writing to him in relation to comments that he made in 2021 about women who don't have children being referred to as childless cat ladies.
There's another one. I don't know if they're going to make this one a big one. Apparently, I was having a conversation with someone, I had kind of read it between the lines. Now, Peter Thiel, I don't know if I mentioned Peter Thiel earlier in the week. Peter Thiel is he's one of the co-founders of he's a tech billionaire, co-founder of PayPal and a couple other things. And Peter Thiel is gay, right? Peter Thiel has given this guy about 4 jobs. Peter Thiel was the one who called Trump and told Trump to make him the vice president. But then I was speaking to someone yesterday, and the person told me, I was thinking it, but I was like, nah, maybe not. The person said, no, Peter, he and Peter Thiel may have been lovers, right? Then there was a story I saw yesterday. Apparently some gay guy living in the area of where Vance used to live, he said he can swear that he went on a date with J.D. Vance. He said the guy's name was David. That's what the D stands for, right? He said he was giving serial killer vibes. That's how he described Vance. And,
I would say, Mr.
So I want to hear. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to blow up.
Was that were those statements made in public?
What do you mean?
No, you said that you heard that.
No, it's reported. It's just that. But Azard, we have to realize a lot of the mainstream press. There's a lot of stuff they don't report. That is why you have to look for You have to widen your news net.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just asking.
I haven't. It hasn't. It hasn't
Yeah.
come up on yet.
Okay.
I doubt if.
But
it's
you know
gonna-
they're looking at everything right now, so perhaps,
yeah, but the guy said
Yeah.
he can swear. He can swear.
No,
that's the same
yeah, that's
guy,
what I said.
because
I
he
know
said
you're not in
they
America.
went to
so I was-
Applebee's apparently.
I was wondering where you got your source from, but yeah,
No,
he
no.
has been his statements as it relates. I mean, yeah, we understand. He seemed it's okay to be family related, but to attack persons who and then make statements as though if you don't have children, then it's to the point that your vote matters less in some circumstances.
Yeah. They already lost. I don't even want to have this conversation.
So
there's no way Trump is winning.
And then the guy with the keys, the 13 keys, based on his, I can't remember his name, but he has the whole key.
Oh yeah. There was there was one I saved the last article.
Based on the keys, and let me see. Let me look for the name. Based on the keys, the Democrats still have a good chance at winning, because based on what he said, if more than 6 keys fall, then the Democrats will be in trouble.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's easy. I gotta hand it to you. You're getting a little sharp.
A little sharp?
Looking outside.
A little sharp?
Just a little sharp.
A little sharp?
Looking
I'm
outside.
gonna just laugh. I'm not
Looking outside the parameters of law. I thought that was all you're interested in. And politics.
But isn't this political?
Kind of interesting. But no, but you used to
you just mean local politics?
You used to swear that if something isn't happening in St. Kitts, it doesn't matter.
No. I think no. I mean, the American election is coming on. It's in all of the news. Basically, the Americans, we rely on America for a lot of things, and in fact, a lot of people say that it's not relevant, but to some extent, what happens in America affects us all to some degree, in terms of relations, foreign policies, and and the like. So it's very much relevant, I think. Even though many of us cannot vote, we can see what's going on, and there's a spill-off effect. In fact, the war in Russia and Ukraine, we feel that globally by the increase of cost of living and the scarce supplies. When we had COVID, we see how one thing that happened in one state could carry the world into a basic shutdown.
You're speaking to the choir.
Yeah, so I mean, all of these things are connected. And so, so it is the keys to the White House is a prediction system for determining the outcome of presidential elections in the United States. It was developed by the American historian Alan Lichman and a Russian via Ellis Bokron in 1981, adopting prediction methods. Yes. So it is very interesting, and I think they've been successful in determining who is president or who wins president. And he really criticizes the polls, because he said that the polls got it wrong. Remember in 2016 when everybody thought that, But Hillary Clinton did win the popular vote. She just failed to secure the Electoral College. And yes, so it should be quite interesting. I know there were a lot of persons who doubted that VP Harris could have gained the momentum that she is gaining and has gained. But see, there was a switch from Joe Biden to Harris, and since that, the Democratic Party has been energized. And I say this, when you look at it, she's able to really do significant groundwork as it relates to the poll, leading and tying in certain aspects. And she has done that, in a sense, just by herself. Imagine when now, even though some persons have said before that the VP nominee is insignificant. I think for this election, VP nominee would be very significant, and she hasn't selected her VP nominee. So when she does select the VP nominee, and if she selects the right VP nominee, and I'm sure she will, then you have again another traction, another buzz, another excitement. And so I think that the excitement will continue for a long time, and the elections are in less than 100 days, so there's still time.
Yeah. Well, I think
there's a short time. I mean, in the sense that you have to keep up the momentum, and so they have only under 100 days to keep up this momentum.
I think it's great that Biden gets to concentrate on. I can't say it enough. Gets to concentrate on running the country and just have Kamala, do the campaigning. And of course, he's probably going to get out there maybe with a month or so to go, and maybe every now and then between now and November, he's probably going to.
There's this comment that says, Azard, don't study Jamster but getting sharp. He only saying that because you're saying the things he likes to hear.
Jamster coming to you.
Boy.
There's this person also says, people, let's go out and march and protest on the July 2nd anniversary and show the government that we are very disappointed with their leadership. I'm calling on Timothy Harris, Natasha, to get organized and get the people together. We are talking too much. Let's show some action by protesting. This government is bad for the country. That's another comment on the Facebook page.
Okay, I guess that's something you like to hear. Okay, we gotta close it down. It's
we're gonna shut it down now. And we have a long weekend, guys. So the next time we're here on Island T will be on Wednesday.
Like a whole month from now.
Yeah.
I guess you're gonna miss us, Jamsa, since Jamsa said we got too many holidays.
Well, I can, yes, but I can't do anything about it. All I can do is
maybe enjoy. I was just looking at the memorial that they had yesterday at the Christina Memorial in Nevis. So I was just scrolling through and looking at them laying wreaths.
So they had it yesterday.
Yeah, in Nevis. Yeah, right at the waterfront where they have all the flags.
Yeah,
they had something there.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so it's not the half holiday is not just
Yeah, it's not just for that. They ensured that they paid homage, they paid respect, and as I said, they have the Emancipation Freedom Concert, cultural concert, and then they have the Emancipation Juve jump up. So they have been sure to include Emancipation in the name. And as Ambassador said, nobody has more culture than the other.
True.
We just need to pay attention. But we still need to, I forgot to ask, we still need to pay attention to make Emancipation August the 1st a bigger and better day.
He would have been a good person to ask about that.
But the topic was the diaspora. We could always invite him on another time and another day to speak about
Hope you're listening.
And they have to do the CARICOM Day
Mr.
thing.
Vaughn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Because remember we did that last year? Was it July 6th?
It's already, I think
gone.
It's gone, yeah.
I know. What was it, July 4th?
July 4th was last year. Yeah.
Okay.
Same day as the Independence.
Which is another holiday I think they want to make. That's a lot of holidays.
As Gregory said, the private sector shouldn't have to deal with the holidays.
But there's that raises the question of, because I take Gregory's point about not forcing the private sector, but then because when you have holidays, it means, for example, it's double time if it's a holiday in terms of paying people time and a half, all that kind of stuff. So, so it's a complicated thing.
Yeah, we just need to compromise.
Yes.
Yeah. Big smiles.
Okay. Person's probably business company probably saying we're paying more for the same hours that they would have worked had it not been a holiday.
Yes.
Sometimes I just think work sounds like slavery because they don't want to pay us. That's just what it sounds like to me. Yeah, we've abolished it, but we're still slaving.
Yeah, it used to be a lot worse.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on that note, gentlemen, same place, same time next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Have a safe and enjoyable
We're gonna shut it down now.
Yeah.
And happy Culturama.
Wonderful weekend, guys. Be safe. It's a long weekend.
Yeah.
Keep out of trouble.
Yes, please, and enjoy the fetting.
Yes.
Okay.
Safe fetting. Gentlemen.
And our thoughts of it, the families of the people.
Yeah, the
who
200 and
lost
something
people on the
people who lost their
Christina and
lives.
so on.
Yeah. Also to families who have lost loved ones, and to the families
Mr.
of
Phillip.
the former MP,
Yes.
Glenn Ghost Phillip, former representative of the great constituency of Constituency 4.
Four.
Here we go.
Great constituency.
You didn't miss a chance.
Even though Mr. Phillip, member of the St. Nevis Labour Party, still
Because it's four.
a former MP from constituency.
Because it's four.
And
I saw
so
the PLP was they paid tribute to him as well.
Yeah. So again, condolences to the family, friends, well wishers, supporters. Great sportsman as well, who has given so much to the community as it relates to sports and the like. And so. Yeah, it's very
Absolutely.
shocking news yesterday.
Yeah, Carla teared up when she heard it on. She didn't
really,
know.
really shocking news. And his daughter was in my class at CFBC. I spoke to her, gave her my condolences. But very bright young lady, So I taught her a lot I taught her for Unit 1 and 2 the law, and she's a very bright girl. Yeah.
Okay, good stuff.
All right, we're out of time. And everyone have a
James is
great
kicking us
weekend.
out.
Yeah.
No.
You too, sir.
Yeah.